If you want to see me use the 2023 Holiday Blockbuster palette from Lancôme, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène and welcome back, or if it's your first time here on HMM Makeup, then welcome. I am doing something that is always a lot of fun, and that is doing my first impressions using the Blockbuster kit that I have on hand. And in this case, it is the Lancôme Blockbuster kit. And let me just show you the case so that you see what the overall Blockbuster kit looks like. Now let me tell you a little bit about the kit. So the cost of the kit is $125, and you have to make a purchase. At least that's what is going on at the Bay, which is where I picked it up. And you get what they say is $750 in value. That is a very significant number, and I don't think that the kit, as much as I think it is a good kit, I don't think that there is $750 worth here. I think the kit is quite nice. I don't poo-poo it, but I definitely think that I would have a heck of a different valuation, which I do want to do. I do want to go over the everything that's included in the kit and what I would actually value it as. So, and hopefully it's over $125. But that is for another day. Right now, it's a first impressions using the products inside the kit, and that is not skincare. I'm talking about the color products. So the makeup is what I'll be applying to my face today. So let's get into it. I'm just going to open up the case and retrieve the makeup products that are included. So first off, there is this beautiful white and gold palette. The palette this time around does not have a whole lot written in it. It's basically the colors, mostly kind of overall face colors on the top, and then more, I would say, likely to be eyeshadows on the bottom. And this one is obviously emphasized to suggest that it would be a blush, at least for some people. I have not touched this palette. I have not done anything with it. I do love to do this with everyone. It's so nice to just uncover a mirror. So let's do that. It's officially getting used today. So I will be using the palette as if I were, I don't know, trying to get ready for work and I'm not at home using the palette. And I don't have any kind of restrictions because there's no brush that comes with the palette. I'm just going to use my brush set and use whatever seems to work for me. So what am I overall working with? I did put the Naked Skin foundation on my face because there is no foundation that comes with the kit. What else? I did put black eyeliner on the upper lash line waterline, and oh, a little fluff of something here. All right, so that's just basically what I have. I have foundation on and I have the black liner on. That's it. That's all I have. So I am looking very much forward to putting some color on with this palette because I'm looking very washed out. Your friendly family ghost. So let's just put some color on. I'm going to start off with the blush just to give myself a little bit of color. And for that, I'll use the brush from Smashbox that I usually use for blush. And let's just see how it applies. Usually the colors are pretty muted for these Blockbuster sets. Just picking up the excess. Okay, and other side. And I won't use any of my own makeup if at all possible. I probably will do my eyebrows, but I might be able to swing it using the kit. We'll see. If I do use anything from my own stash, I will definitely let you know. But brows is likely. Okay, so that is the blush. I think that looks pretty good. I would like for there to be a deeper color that could be a cool color to warm up the face, but there doesn't really seem to be all that much of it. I'm going to try using the brush again and maybe put a little bit of blush around the hairline. I hope I'm not going to regret this. Let's see. It looks like it might be peach enough that I could get away with it. Okay, so let's see. Hey, I got away with it. At least I think so. Maybe on camera it looks different, but I actually think I got away with it. All right, so now we're going back to the palette. So the blush has been tested and it looks like it works fine. I would like to hide my veiny parts here, so I'm just going to use a little bit of the foundation to mute that up a little bit because it's just too much for me. And use another finger to wipe off the excess. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, putting that aside, before I put anything else on my face, I do want to put this one. La Vie est Belle is the perfume that came with the kit. So even though it's not a color product, I do want to have a bit of an impression. I haven't used this perfume in a while, so let's just give it a go. And don't forget your wrists. Wrists are always nice to dab some perfume on. It's an okay perfume. It's not my favorite. If you're wondering, Mon Guerlain and Alien are the two perfumes that I love. I give a chef's kiss to. And for Mon Guerlain and Alien, any of the permutations in either line I think are just beautiful. If I am feeling really like a romantic kind of sexy night, it would be Alien. And for a kind of put together scent, Mon Guerlain is the one that I go for. But for today, it's going to be La Vie est Belle, and translated it means life is beautiful. I think that's not a bad perfume for today. I'm going to ignore the fact that I have foundation on my hands and let's keep going with the look. And I'm going to see if I can get away with this color in my brows. I don't have anything in my brows, but I'm trying to do a full look with this palette, so let's give it a shot. Okay, now I've taken a brush that should work for eyebrow. I was going to say eyeshadow, but eyebrow. So I'm using the mirror of the palette, and let's see if we can successfully do brows with this palette. So I'm trying to use as little of my stuff in my collection and use the kit itself. Okay, so that's looking, I think, okay. I'm a little heavy on the blush. Oh, and it's a very luminous blush. I don't know if you can see that. It's very, very luminous, which I'm not mad at. I'm going to go a little bit lighter as I go toward the inner brow, so I'm not overly saturating the brows, because I have enough brows when it comes to the center of my face, so I don't want to accent them too much. I have big brows. I've always had big brows. Okay, and I'm going to just take a spoolie. I have one somewhere. Hang on. There it is. Okay, and just brush it out to know where I need to add some color and go in again. So this is not a bad match if you are a brunette. It might work well for a lot of people. It looks buildable. And this is not the perfect brush for this, but given that I'm just making do, I'm pretty happy with the way it's turning out so far. Just a little bit more to finish up the edges. Trying to do brush strokes for almost like hairs. Okay, so there's one done. And I'm going to go off camera to do the other one so that I'm not wasting your time. You've seen me create one of the brows. And then we'll get into the next step. So see you in a second with a second brow. Okay, the brows are done. They are a little dark for me, and I think I'm just going to go do a little bit of spoolie to try to lessen the color just a little bit. Hopefully that worked a little bit. And yeah, so I've got the eyebrows done, and now I'm going to go into the eye makeup. So I thought you might want to be playing along with this, and I think just so I get colors that match well, I'm going to go into this component and apply the lipstick. Just so you know, it just goes from the top, push down, and pull from the bottom. And it's a pretty color, so I'm looking forward to putting that on. So let's do that right now with the help of the mirror on the palette. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. There, boy, I tell you, a lipstick certainly does help with the a look, doesn't it? And this is how much lipstick there is in the component, if you are curious. And I just push it all back together when I'm done using it. I really like this component. It was in the kit last year, loved it, and I'm so happy they brought it back this year. I know I said that in the last video, but I just have to say it again. It's so nice. It's just so nice. Okay, and this gives me an idea of what colors I want to use, and I think I'm going to stick with burgundies. So I was using this one in my brows, and I think for the look I'm going to use this one and this one. So these two, and probably this one for the brow highlight. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do next. And to start us off, I'm going to go in with this brush into the taupey color right here. And that should do it. It's very, the eyeshadow is very powdery. I don't know if you can see. I just dipped my brush there. I did not rub the brush in. I just tapped on it on the eyeshadow, and it's really, you want to use a light hand because the powder just comes right off the palette. I don't think it's going to stay white for very long. You might have heard my dog shake. Her collar made some noise. I don't know if you heard that, if the camera captured that or not. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll do one eye and then replicate on the other so you're not wasting your time here. I'm liking it. I'm just picking up whatever's left and going in again. And now let's accent the eyebrow, the upper brow. I think I'm going to use this. I'm changing my mind for brushes. I'm going to use this brush to accentuate, and I'm going to use this color right here for the highlight. That looks pretty good. And what am I going to use on the inner? Now I want to deepen first. Okay, I'm going to deepen the look with, I'm going to say with this one right here. I'm going to use it on the outer third of the lid, or at least I'll give it a shot. Okay, for that purpose, I'll use one of my favorite Smashbox brushes. Unfortunately, Smashbox does not make these brushes anymore, as far as I know. Okay, and I'm tapping in slight sideways brushing motions. Now when I look at this palette, most of the colors would go really well together. I don't think there are very many that could clash with each other on here. Most of the pairings would work. Vast majority of the pairings would work. I'm just going to go in again on, this is the color I'm using, and just deepen that up a little bit. Now it doesn't really go with the lipstick though, but we're just going to go with it. I'd probably choose more of a smoky taupey color for my lips, I think. It's okay, but it's not the best match, if you know what I mean. And I'm going to go a little bit heavier with the color because I'm really liking it. Yeah, that's quite pretty. I'm happy with that. And there's not a whole lot more to do. I just want to emphasize a little bit on the inner lid. And I think I'm going to go with the green. It's kind of a taupey green. And I'm going to do that on the inner to 2/3 of the lid. I think it's going to look good. Let's see if I'm sorely mistaken. So I'm using this pyramidal brush from Smashbox. Hopefully you can see it. It's a really neat design. If you can find a brush that is pyramidal like this, I would recommend it. I think it's pretty cool. I think this is a green color, but I do believe that it's going to have, yeah, it's going to have some bling factor here, so that's good. I'm glad. I'm using the brush for the very, very inner lid, and then I'm going to move to my finger because when it comes to shine, the finger application just brings it out really nicely. And there, that is what, oh, got a little fallout going. That is what the eyeshadow application looks like. I'm just going to add a little bit more toward the inner lid. Oh, I'm liking this look. I'm really liking this look. It's effortless. The colors go together really well so far. I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to put a few items on my eyes that are not part of the Lancôme Blockbuster set, but just to be able to finish the look, at least on the one side, and then I'll come back with my full look done for you to see. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a black liner and then also some mascara. And for the mascara, I will be using the Lancôme, what's it called? I can't speak. The Lancôme Lash Idole is going to be the mascara, and but I do need the black liner on my eyelid first. So here is the black liner I'm going to use. This is actually a Huda Beauty liner, and it has one side that is a pencil and the other side which is a brush, and that is the one that I will be using right away. And so that is why there's no mascara on my eye yet, because we're going to do a line. The royal we are going to do a line. Be very careful. This liner tends to be pretty goopy. Applies a lot right off the top. Okay, so that did not go badly. That's good. It is more than I would like, but it is clean compared to what this can do sometimes. But if you like a dramatic wing, this is probably a really good combo if Huda Beauty still sells it. So now we've got the liner, and now I'm going to go into the Lash Idole. And here is what the wand looks like as I go to apply it on my lashes. Now it is a plastic bristle wand, and so you don't want to be too close to your eye because it is pokey, and sometimes that's not fun. I don't like getting it in my eye. It's not a whole lot of fun. I really like the way this is turning out. The only thing I don't like right now is the lipstick. It's too almost like pinky orange. I think I will end up changing my lipstick at the end of this, but at least we've seen what the lipstick looks like that comes with the kit for this year. Okay, so that is one eye done. I think that looks pretty good. I am going to go and do the same thing on the other eye, and I'm probably going to change my lipstick because I'm not really a fan of how this is working out. Or should I just keep it? I'll keep it until the look is done, and then if it needs to change, I'll change it afterwards. But I think you'll agree that that's not a great match. Maybe I just can take a little bit off the bottom here. I think maybe I'm just being too picky. So let's see what happens with the final look. I'll go and do the other eye and be right back. Okay, here is the look I came up with. This is my first impressions. I've never used this palette before. I don't think that it matches the lipstick all that much. Might just be the selection of colors that I chose. I'm not a big fan of this color. I think you get that vibe already from me. Is it okay? It's okay. It's okay. I don't think anybody would say, "Oh, you clash. You don't look right." Blah blah blah. I don't think that would happen. But I don't think it's the best pairing. I think I would have preferred maybe a deeper fuchsia or a terracotta color even to kind of fit with the palette and the look that I came up with. And I think that you could see why I would think that a terracotta would look pretty good with this palette. There's some very nice coolness down here, which is what I used most of. This is what I have on the inner corner. This is what I have on the outer lid. This is what I have in my brow. And this is the punch of light that I used just on the top of my brow. So all of the look comes from this palette and from a black liquid liner I needed to get elsewhere because it's not in the Blockbuster set, so I used the Huda Beauty black liner, and that's the liquid liner that I used on the upper lash line. And then the Lancôme Lash Idole, keep forgetting the name, Lash Idole is my mascara. As I said, there's one of the eyeshadows that I used for my brows. And is there anything else to talk about? I used the blush as well here and on the forehead, seemed to be okay. So let me just talk a little bit about the palette. The blush is very luminescent, which means to me that if you have a lot of texture on your skin or that you have quite a bit of creasing just from what is it in English? Like crow's feet or something, or smile lines that you don't want to emphasize, this blush might not be something that you would appreciate all that much. It's quite, like I said, quite luminous. It just depends on what you want. And it doesn't really look all that luminous in the pan, but it really comes out once you apply it. What else can I say? I am a big fan of let's go this way, of the bottom row. I think that the curation here is really, really good. I understand the top row. I think that it would be versatile for a lot of people for the almost no makeup look, or to be able to have some versatility of only applying one color and being good to go with a little mascara and you're good to go. I think that there is a practicality to this palette, and with the bottom with a certain amount of depth to the palette. So I think that going back and forth top to bottom is certainly something that one can do, and picking one or the other row would be fine as well to create a look. So most of these made it on my eye look today. I kind of wish that the color pans were the same size, top and bottom. I think that these guys got cheated a little bit. Do I think that these, for the majority of people, might be used more often because it's like you can make a 5-minute look with these? Sure, that might be why they've made them larger, but it's conjecture at this point. I don't know anything for sure. One thing that I do want to talk about with this palette is the fact that the plasticized layer does seem to help keep the palette clean. So nothing has transferred from my hands or brushes or whatnot to the palette. So I'm very satisfied that they planned reasonably, at least for a palette that hasn't been used a whole lot. It doesn't seem to show fingerprints or anything from eyeshadows and blushes in this particular case or palette. I did say that I do like the design of the palette. I stand by that. I think it's a lot of fun, and I do appreciate the magnetic closure. Just a nice touch. It could have been just a fit closure, like some of the palettes from KVD Vegan Beauty, but I'm not annoyed by this palette at all, and I think it's a good size. It's not overly large, and it does contain quite a bit of product in a relatively small package. So I'm quite happy about it. I like the fact that most of it is recyclable, and I will continue to use it. I think it's going to be a go-to as I try different looks with it over the next number of days. And I'll give some more thoughts and looks obviously over the next few days. So take a look at that. So this is look number 1. I think it was successful, and let's see what else I come up with. I will create a lookbook for you so that you can see a number of options in using this palette. So I think it's been relatively successful. I'm not unhappy about anything that's happened so far, really. So yes, if you have some requests for looks, certain colors that you want me to use, just consider this is number 1 to number 5, top row number 1 to number 5, bottom row number 1 to number 5, and we'll consider this one the blush. So if there's anything specific you want to use, top row 1 to 5, bottom row 1 to 5, if you want to give me some instructions. All right, so look number 1, I usually come up with 6 looks, so you might as well put in your order for a combo that you would like to see. I'm going to do them anyway, so why not at least ask? You might have a better opportunity to see something that you really do want to see someone create in order to replicate it. I'm open. I'm always very willing to be helpful and answer questions or do some demos through a video, so don't hesitate. The worst that can happen is I can't do it. It doesn't hurt to ask. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this, and I did mention in a previous video that this was different from the black lacquer palettes that they've done, so I want to show you what that looks like, just so that you can understand the difference I'm talking about. Okay, so we've talked about this one enough, you know enough about it. Let me show you the other one. Now this is the black lacquer palette that I was talking about in the previous video, and it's very shiny. And let's go into the palette itself. So it's all plastic. There's a mirror and quite a few eyeshadows. So there was more in here. There are 12 eyeshadows plus 4 face palette products. So there was a lot more in here compared to this palette, but I actually kind of like this format more, and I do like the fact that it's more environmentally friendly than the black lacquer plastic. So I'm happy they moved to this. I do wish that there were more products similar to what's in here. And who knows, maybe they will kind of course correct another time for next year. But is this a good palette? Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of product and somebody could use it for quite a long time before running out. So this might be a nice on-the-go palette. It's very light. I was pretty impressed with it as far as the curation of the colors, so I'm pretty happy about it. To be quite frank, I'm pretty happy about it. So that is it for my first impressions with the palette. I think that the colors worked out really well. I would have zero concerns about going out with an eye look like this. I will probably change my lipstick. Again, I don't think it works well. Does the lipstick seem to wear properly? Never mind my very speedy application. But does it look like it would last for a while? Sure. I would just want a different color. But yeah, it's comfortable. It seems to wear all right. I've been talking quite a bit, so I'm not unhappy with the way the makeup has applied and is wearing so far. And I'm going to be filming a few more videos, so I guess we will be able to see over those whether the eye look is hanging in there or fading fast. We'll see. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, as always, take care.